Parkinson will hold at just past the 35-yard line. Pete Gogolaki's had problems. He's 1 for 6 this year. And it's good. From the 36-yard line, Pete Gogolak hits. And with timeout, the score is the Giants 3, the Cowboys 3.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. Before I get started, just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, the New York Giants, 8 days, that's when, today's Monday, next Tuesday, the 19th, is when the rookies have to report to training camp. And then I believe it's the 27th, which I guess would be 8 days later, would be the veterans need to report. And the nice thing about that is, you know, nothing going on, no funny stuff. Everybody seems to be signed. Everybody seems to be somewhat happy, or at least they're showing it on the outside. You don't have nobody holding out at all or anything. You know, I'm sure the guys enjoying their time off, but you know they're ready to get going. And you know, the ball starts rolling. Training camp, a couple weeks of that, and then you got preseason, 3 games there, and then you got like a week or so before the regular season starts. And guys, off and running. You know, it's like it's about 2 months, a little over 2 months, and I mean, can you frickin' believe it? I mean, we're closer to the start of the regular season than we are we're farther away from the draft. The draft was the end of April, right? It's been like 2.5 months since the draft. It's a little over 2 months till it started. So I mean, isn't it crazy the way time flies by? So I was looking around. I try to, you know, look if there's anything, you know, somewhat interesting. A lot of the reports I'm looking at, the news, you know, the stuff that I see online, it's all good stuff. I mean, you know, a lot of it, they go over, can Daniel Bellinger be the starting tight end? You know, can Aaron Robinson step up and become the number 2 corner? You know, I mean, just stuff like that, you know. So I saw this one article, you know, it's a little intriguing, you know. It's like, well, what if, or what the heck, you know, why not, you know? It's from SB Nation. They got some good stuff too. I love their, you know, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there. Very informative. I'm so thankful for that. These articles are awesome. I love them. But from SB Nation, because from worst to first with a question mark, right? An argument for the Giants winning the NFC East. So I mean, that kind of, you know, perked my interest a little bit to go over the article. And, you know, I mean, the one thing you got to say, I mean, a couple of, you know, is the NFC East is not a powerhouse. It's not. We're not talking. It's not the 1980s. Even the 90s. I mean, that was where the Cowboys were, as you know, had that little dynasty going on there. But you know, I mean, it's you know, not a powerhouse division. And then you also look at, too, like what they were mentioning in this article here, which I'll show you in a minute. You know, I'm talking about the Bengals. I mean, who on earth? I mean, because you remember the year before, I mean, we got Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh every year is winning the division or playoffs and all of that. The Ravens, I mean, with Lamar Jackson, I mean, you know, Harbaugh coaching them. They're such a well-coached team. They're always so good. And then you had the Browns the year before. Made the playoffs, won a playoff game, went on the road and won a playoff game. I mean, you know, Baker Mayfield, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you had to start thinking, oh, all right, maybe the Browns will start turning stuff around, you know. But then, you know, things happen. I mean, you know, and they had the Bengals on the bottom 2 years ago, okay? Joe Burrows was on the field, you know, screaming in agony because he got hurt, you know. So, I mean, who on earth would have thought that the Bengals would have gone from last to first? I mean, jumped over, you know, the Ravens who, you know, usually are either in the playoffs or right there. Jumped over the, I mean, as far as like going to the Super Bowl and all. I mean, he jumped over the Steelers. They went over the Browns. I mean, not that the Browns were a powerhouse, but I mean, the year before the Browns, went to the playoffs. I mean, things were starting to, look up. But who would have thought, right? I mean, things happen. So I mean, in this article here, I mean, they got some good points, and a lot of it's going to, depend on, put a lot on the health, right? I mean, because the way things have been going with the Giants the past few years, I mean, they haven't been healthy. It's kind of tough to win a lot of games or win enough games to make the playoffs or when you're not healthy. So I mean, that's going to depend, a lot on how well they do, but then going along with this article, things happen. I mean, what if this one year the Giants stay healthy and everybody else gets hurt, right? I mean, the Redskins, I'm not looking for much out of them. I'm not saying the Giants are going to be any better or whatever, but I mean, I'm not looking at the Redskins being some type of a juggernaut this year. I mean, but I mean, like I said, a few key injuries to the Cowboys. I mean, what happens if Dak gets hurt, right? ABCD Lamb, he gets, because they don't have Cooper no more, right? Gallup's not going to be ready for a while. Wilson's not there no more, I mean, if they got to put their backup quarterback in there, maybe ABCD Lamb's not in there, and then they don't have Gallup for, they might be hurt, right? So then you got the Eagles, right? They made the playoffs last year, but they were 9-8. They beat one team with the winning record. I'm going to show you that because they're in this article as well too. They beat one team with a winning record, which was the New Orleans Saints. They beat the Saints at home. New Orleans Saints were 9-8. They don't have Drew Brees no more. So that was the only team that the Eagles beat. The Eagles were 9-8. All right. Then they lost the playoff game, so they're 9-9. Okay, so against teams with winning records, they were 1-9 against teams with winning record last year. Okay, every team, got to give them credit. Got to give the Eagles credit where credit's due. Every team with, except for the Giants, the one Giants game. Okay, the Giants beat them 13-7. But I mean, other than that, I believe check it out. But I believe every time the Eagles went up a team with a losing record, they beat them, except for the one Giant game. Anytime they went up against a team with a winning record, or a team at the end of the season, shall I say, who had a winning record, right, they lost, except for that one game against New Orleans. But I said, what I'm going to say a good team does is when you play against a team that's worse or losing record or whatever, what do? You beat them. That's what the Eagles did. I can't say that they were a phenomenal team. They say usually what do good teams do? They beat bad teams. Well, I mean, the Eagles were an okay team, okay to good, But I mean, said they were in this article as well, too. So anything can happen. And I say, the Giants have had some bad breaks, especially with as far as health. And I said, what if there's one time, there's 1 year, right? Things change. Giants stay healthy, the other teams get hurt. Anything's possible. So let's take a deep dive, shall we, into this article here. Worst to first, an argument for the Giants winning the NFC East.
All right, the New York Giants. Here's the article from SB Nation. All right. Worst to first, an argument for the Giants winning the NFC East. Odds are it won't happen, but you never know. That's why you got to play the games, guys. You got to play the games. Okay. So let's say here, could the New York Giants +2 go from worst to first in the NFC East in 2022? Jason McIntyre of Fox Sports says placing a bet on the idea that they could do just that is not wasting your money. I mean, well, they show here, the Giants, it was a +800 or whatever it is. So if you bet $100, you win $900, so you get back your money plus $800. So that's not such a bad bet. The first step in making NFL futures bets is to zoom out and look at the big picture. when it comes to the Giants, they play the easiest schedule in the league. But let's not forget, okay, the Cowboys, the Washington Commanders, the Eagles, they're all playing really easy schedules too. And they're playing, and they have to play the Giants. All right, the Giants got to play the Eagles, who were 9-8 last year. They got to play the Cowboys, who had the winning record, and they went to the play. I mean, so the Giants got to play tougher teams. All right, in the division. As I said, I mean, the Eagles are playing 2 games against a team that was 4-13. The Commanders are going to play 2 against a team that was 2 times that was 4-13. The Cowboys are going to play the Giants, who are 4-13. So I mean, let's not forget that. All right. It's just not the Giants in the NFC East. Oh, the Giants got the easy schedule, The Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders, their schedules are so hard. No, it's the whole division. It's got an easy schedule. All right. So when you look at the opponents' win totals last season, for the Giants, they had the easiest. Says here's the easiest schedule in the league. And their non-divisional road schedule features the easiest slate in the league. So, and yes, it does. Yes, it does. In the 2 weeks before and after the bye, okay, I mean, this is certainly don't mean they're going to win any of these games, but, right, Giants will face the 4 weakest teams in the NFL, all right? So, I mean, if the Giants don't win more than 5 games, I mean, whew, I can't say they're in trouble, you know what I mean? But I mean, it's like, whew, I mean, with this schedule, if they can't win, I mean, unless they're totally decimated by injuries, but if they're relatively healthy and they can't win more than 5 games, whew, okay. Let's see, they got to play Jacksonville, Seattle without Mr. Russell Wilson, okay, Houston, okay, and Detroit. All right. I mean, I can't say it doesn't get easier than that, but I mean, those are 4. But then again, Detroit, Houston, Seattle, and Jacksonville, they're all looking at the Giants like, oh, whew, thank goodness we got the Giants on the schedule. We got a good chance of the win there. I mean, so they're looking at the Giants saying the same thing, right? Besides having the easiest schedule in the league, their roster is also much improved. Not sexy improved, okay, but the moves, they weren't sexy, but they were significant. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you got to upgrade the offensive line. Not sexy, okay. Kayvon Thibodeau, boom, sexy. Evan Neal, not so sexy, all right. Yeah, I know the Giants have been one of the worst teams in the NFL over the last 5 years, going a staggering 22-59. Holy cow. The last time this team was respectable was in 2016 when Odell Beckham was a budding star. Of course, he took the offense on a boat trip the week before the playoff game against the Packers. Yeah, why would we want to concentrate on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in a playoff game? Why would we want to do that? Let's go on a boat trip, right? What could go wrong? 38-13. That's what could go wrong. However, that was then, and this is now. With a healthy squad, new coaching staff, and an easy schedule, it's smart to bet on the Giants in a land full of dwarves. So we got Valentine's view here, right? So this is what we got, right? The Giants are plus 800 to win the NFC East. Worst odds in the division per DraftKings Sportsbook. The Cowboys are +2 at they're 135. So if you bet 100, right, you get 135. Right. The Eagles are plus 165, and the Commanders are plus 500. If you have $100 burning a hole in your pocket and you're just dying to wager it on something, is it worth trying to turn it into $900 by plunking it down on the Giants winning the NFC East? Yeah. So now here we go. We got kind of comparing them to some other teams here. In my view, there is no way I would predict the Giants will win the NFC East. This is a team tied with the Jets for the worst record in football over the last 5 years at 22-59. Oh yeah, a 272 winning percentage. Holy cow! It is a team with a rookie GM and a rookie head coach that is again starting over. Yep. Still, we're talking about the less than dominant NFC East, a division where surprising things happen and no one seems capable of winning it 2 years in a row, which is true. chances are, I mean, the way things have been, odds, all right, every year's a new year, but I mean, the Cowboys and wait, things are going. Cowboys won't win the division again. Maybe the Eagles will. Who knows? But we'll see. The Bengals, of course, went from 4-11-1 in 2020 to 10-7 and a Super Bowl appearance in 2021. They may not be the best example of kind of a turnaround we were talking about, though. The Bengals lost quarterback Joe Burrow in 2020 to a knee injury. Yep, horrible. And also kept coach Zach Taylor in 2021 rather than starting over. So that wound up being a wise decision. Let's see. The 2021 Eagles went 9-8, made the playoffs in Nick Sirianni's first season after going 4-11-1 in 2020. But as I said, we see here, all right, here's the Eagles, okay? But I mean, example here, Nick Sirianni's first season, the Eagles went 9-8, made the playoffs, right? With a nice, easy schedule, relatively easy schedule, okay? The Giants, with a nice, easy schedule, first-year coach, who knows, right? They said the Eagles were 4-11-1. Giants were 4-13. The Eagles went from 4-11-1 to 9-8, made the playoffs. Maybe the Giants from 4-13 could go 9-8, make the playoffs too. Right? But I said, but if you look here, they killed the Falcons. Falcons have a losing record. Then the 49ers came, right? It was a tough game. 49ers outlasted them, beat them 17-11 in Philadelphia. Then they played the Cowboys on Monday night. Cowboys beat them 41-21. Cowboys had a winning record. Then they played the Chiefs, right? Chiefs had a winning record. Chiefs beat them 42-30. Then they played the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers were winning the whole game, and I think, or most of the game, and I think the Eagles came from behind in like the fourth quarter and wound up winning this one 21-18, but the Panthers had a losing record. They played the Bucs at home. Played them tough, but they lost. Bucs had a winning record. Then they went on the road, okay, and they against the Raiders, they lost 33 and the Raiders were 10-7. I can't remember if they were 9 or 8 or 10-7. The Raiders were 10-7. Raiders had a winning record, right? And the Raiders beat them 33-22. Then they pummeled the Lions. Lions had a losing record. Then they, this was a tough one here. Tough game, they lost. Played them tough, all that stuff and everything, but the Chargers had a winning record, and they lost to the Chargers. Then they played the Broncos on the road. They whooped up on the Broncos. Broncos had a losing record. Then the Saints. This is the only game here where they beat a team with a winning record. Okay, they beat the Saints 40-29. The Saints, didn't have Drew Brees no more, and the Saints, Saints were 9-8. So Saints barely had a winning record, and this is the only team they beat with a winning record. Here they lost, all right, to a team with a losing record. The next week, they went on the road. Chris Myrick had caught that one touchdown. Giants wind up winning 13-7. Then they go on the road. They play back-to-back games in Jersey, right? So they play the Jets once again. The Jets, surprise, surprise, had a losing record. They whooped up on them. Then they played the Washington football team. Washington football team had a losing record. They beat them 27-17. Then the Giants came, right, and they just killed the Giants 34-10. Giants had a losing record. Then they went on the road and they beat the Washington football team. The Washington football team had a losing record. Then the last game of the season, right, they got destroyed by the Cowboys, 51-26. Cowboys had a winning record. Then they had the playoff game. They lost 31-15 to the Bucs. The Bucs had a winning record. So, I mean, it is what it is. They took advantage against teams that were not very good. You got to give the credit to the Eagles, all the credit in the world there. But, you also have some of the line, especially when it comes to the playoffs, you're going to have to start beating teams with winning records. That's something they really didn't do last year. Okay, so. But, I mean, in one respect, that, kind of brings the Giants, a little more perspective here, too, because the Giants have an easy schedule. So, anything's possible. All right. The Bills, went a surprising 9-7 in 2017. Sean McDermott's first year as head coach, reaching the AFC playoffs. That came after a 7-9 2016 season. Former Giants scouting assistant Todd Radowski referenced this type of scenario for the Giants during a recent appearance on the Valentine's Views podcast. You just want to see this team make an improvement. You want to see them show strides. You want to see the team have life. You want to see them compete. You want to see them fight in the fourth quarter when they're trailing. You just want to see a football team with life and energy and juice, Radowski said. If you see those things often results in wins. So if you see those things, you might see the Giants outperform their expected win total. So, yeah, I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible. But let's go over some of the stuff here. We got the Giants, the roster here. I mean, this is not the final 53 by any stretch of the imagination, but all right. Now, the thing I see here, you got these three wide receivers. Now, Sterling Shepard won't be probably starting right away because of his injury. He had to get the injury later in the season, so I don't think he'll be starting right away. But I just see injuries. I'm Kenny Golladay injury prone. Kadarius Toney, he had 6 different injuries last year, and that's not including the COVID he had twice last year. Sterling Shepard, all he does is get injured. Andrew Thomas, he has a problem with his feet and his ankles. Okay, Shane Lemieux, he had the bad, he was out all last year. Okay, Daniel Jones, he every year he misses time. Saquon Barkley, he keeps getting hurt, so I see injuries there. So a lot, a lot of it's going to depend upon injuries. All right, now for Sterling Shepard, maybe we got Wan'Dale Robinson could slide in there, right? Hopefully some of these other guys back here, maybe Darius Slayton. I know they got him a 3rd string here. Whew. Wow. But I'm saying maybe Darius Slayton, right? Wan'Dale Robinson. So we'll have to wind up seeing how Kadarius Toney does. Does he stay healthy? Does Kenny Golladay stay healthy? Hopefully our offensive line stays healthy. I'd love to see with Saquon with Dable / Kafka's, kind of offensive scheme going on. I'd love to see what they got Saquon going to do. Apparently, he's going to be out in space quite a bit, which is fantastic. Don't constantly try to have him run plays up the middle and between the tackles. Get the dude out in space and let him do what he can do, right? But a lot of it's going to depend upon the health, right? So then we go over here, all right? Now we look at the defense, all right? Leonard Williams, usually he's there all the time. Yeah, knock on wood. The man plays, all right? Dexter Lawrence, usually he's there all the time too, okay? So we'll have to see with DJ Davidson, what he can do. Justin Ellis, David Moa, does he make the team? Jalen Holmes, all right? He's got some guys back here too. Can Blake Martinez come back to hopefully his form for what he was? If he gets hurt again, might have a big question mark up the middle. Who knows? Maybe Micah McFadden or Darian Beavers can step in there and do an adequate job, but are they going to be Blake Martinez? Not this year, I don't think. Micah McFadden or Beavers or whatever might, somewhere along the line become a nice inside linebacker, but they're not going to be what Blake Martinez is, right? Then we have our outside linebackers. All right, we got Kayvon Thibodeau. All right, and we got Azeez Ojulari. Right, the 2 outside. We got some guys behind him. Ellerson Smith and Quincy Roche. Right, Jihad Ward, Oshane Ximines. I don't know. See if Nico Lalos can make the team from Dartmouth. I'll be pulling for him. Right, but it seems like we might have our 1-2, on the outside. It's a shame. It would be nice because we let Lorenzo Carter go. It's a shame that we didn't re-sign. He only signed for like $3 million. It's a shame because if we get that, would have been a nice little rotation there. Carter, Azeez Ojulari, Kayvon Thibodeau, Quincy Roche. That'd have been a nice little force. And maybe Ellison Smith steps it up a little bit. We'd have a nice little cycle of guys in there. That'd be pretty good. But can't keep everybody. But then the question here, okay, is our secondary, right? A lot of it's going to, can we stay healthy? Okay, Adoree Jackson had some injuries, in the past. Okay, last year he did very good, so I feel comfortable with him possibly being the number 1 cornerback this year. But hopefully he stays healthy. All right, who's going to be? Interested to see who like maybe the corner slot guy might be. Will it be Darnay Holmes or Cordell Flott? Who's going to win that, right? Aaron Robinson, how is he going to be at the number 2 cornerback? Big step for him. We don't know, right? Then we got, obviously Julian Love, who's never like a full-time safety. We know he's got experience and knowledge and all that stuff in multiple positions back there, but he's never was like, here's the keys to the car, Julian. You're the safety, brother. We'll see you at the end of the game, pal. Go get him. I mean, that wasn't like that before, so, right? Then Xavier McKinney. I mean, great there last year, love it, but the year before that, I mean, he got hurt, okay? So, I mean, a lot of it's going to depend upon, the health. I mean, if you start losing 2 or 3 of these guys back here, imagine if Adoree Jackson's hurt, Xavier McKinney's hurt, maybe what if our top 2 cornerbacks are hurt? Maybe you can say Xavier McKinney gets hurt. How are these guys back here going to all fill in, right? I mean, or Darius Williams, Jaron Williams, Dane Belton, Michael Jaquette, Maurice Kennedy, Henry Black, Yusuf Corker. I mean, obviously, Khalil Dorsey. I mean, not all these guys are going to make the team. Some will be on a practice squad, and some guys will get released. But I mean, if we have to start relying on a lot of these guys back here, we're sending pressure up front. You're gonna rely on these guys to hold up one-on-one against some of the league's best against receivers. Ooh, you might be asking for a bit much. So, as I said, and then we have a nice. I'm interested to see who the Giants have as far as trying to maybe return punts, kicks. That'd be interesting to see. But, I mean, we got that. I think it was the Scottish Hammer, I think he's called. I think that's what his nickname is, Jamie Gillen. He's got a heck of a foot. He can boom it, right? He's a boomer. And then got Graham Ganoso and Casey Kreider, right, the long snapper. But I think we have adequate, certainly very adequate special teams. But, I mean, a lot of it's going to depend upon health. Like I said, if the Giants can stay healthy, if Wink Martindale's scheme suits the Giants and they work out real well, if they can stay healthy, if Dable / Kafka's kind of offense, works out well, if the wide receivers can stay healthy, Giants could certainly have a nice 8, 9, I don't know, crazy 10-win season. Can they win the division? Absolutely. Sure, of course they could win the division. But, I mean, are the odds there? No. But, so anything's possible. The Giants certainly could win the division without question. But, I mean, as I said, the odds are not there. The biggest thing, okay, the Giants have to stay healthy. If they don't stay healthy, they don't have a chance in heck of winning the division.
So you see, I mean, anything's possible. I mean, one thing we don't, know. I mean, between Kafka and Dable, maybe those guys can just, with the offense that they're coming up, maybe, they can light a fire within Daniel Jones. Maybe Daniel Jones stays healthy. Maybe Daniel Jones goes back to the way he did when Pat Shermer was the coach and calling plays. 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Maybe Saquon stays healthy, right? Between Evan Neal, Glowinski, possibly, right? Andrew Thomas, maybe he takes another step forward, right? Maybe his ankles and his feet heal up and he's doing good, right? So maybe we might have a good running game. Maybe Daniel Jones will get protected, so maybe he won't get blindsided or hit so much and fumble the ball. Maybe he has some time. I mean, between Wan'Dale Robinson and if maybe Kadarius Toney plays a bunch of games this year, have those guys running around out there, maybe, anything's possible. Then on the defensive side, right? Who knows what's going on with Wink Martindale, with his defense? I mean, we lost Bradbury, okay. So we lost a couple other. I mean, obviously Bradbury, Logan Ryan, kind of let him go. So we look maybe a little weaker in the secondary, but maybe with Wink starting to bring, we got Kayvon. Okay, so maybe we can start bringing some pressure. And maybe, the pressure might get to the quarterback and, our secondary won't be as vulnerable as we maybe think they are, especially under the Patrick Graham, because the Patrick Graham was like, let's keep everything in front of us. All right, the complete passes, let's have them give a 10 to 12 play drive and march down the field. We'll have them complete a pass, wrap them up, tackle them, and and have them do that all the way down. Let's see if they can do that all the way down the field, you know. But I mean, I'm saying, maybe with this Wink Martindale, maybe, yeah. Well, he sends some pressure. Yeah, maybe we'll get some 60, 70-yard touchdown passes because our cornerbacks wind up getting burnt here and there. Maybe we got some of that. But possibly, I said, maybe with Quincy Roche, maybe Ellison Smith steps it up. Who knows? Azeez Ojulari, he bulked up. Maybe he gets a little bit better. Maybe Kayvon comes in and gets Defensive Rookie of the Year. Who knows? Maybe we got a good pass rush. Maybe Leonard Williams steps it up a little bit, gets it back to maybe where he was 2 years ago. Double-digit sacks. Who knows? Right? I mean, with the pressure, if we keep Blake Martinez healthy, right, that'll help in the run game. Maybe Micah McFadden is another good inside linebacker. I mean, you don't know. I mean, we got a boatload of guys in the secondary, who are going to need to step it up and all. But hey, you don't know. I mean, as I said, the Eagles are. Everybody's talking about the Eagles getting better. Okay, that's quite possible. But I mean, that's just on paper. They got to stay healthy. I still don't know if they have their quarterback. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, you got to play. You got to play the games. And I said the same thing with the Washington, the Commanders. All right, I'm not looking for they could win the division too. But I mean, I'm not looking for them to be in some phenomenal 13-4 or 12-5 team. I'm not looking for that. And I said if the Cowboys are, Dak he got hurt last year. He got hurt the year before against the Giants. So I mean, he's susceptible to getting hurt. So I mean, what if they got to play with their backup for a while in there? They lost a couple. I said they lost Wilson, wide receiver. They lost Amari Cooper. Gallup may not be ready for the beginning of the season. So I mean, they lost some, right? Ezekiel Elliott is another year older. I mean, they got Pollard. Pollard's very good. I really like him. He's a good 1-2 punch. Zeke up the middle, Pollard on the outside. Nice 1-2 combo. But I mean, Zeke's going to start. He's not the same guy as he was 3, 4, 5 years ago. So I mean, anything's possible. They lost a bunch of guys on the offensive line, right? So I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be very interesting. Do I think the Giants are going to win the division? No. Well, I mean, would I be happy as heck if they win 7 or 8 games? Oh yeah. If we go from 4 wins to 7 wins, that's a step in the right direction. But as I said, do I think they're going to win the division? No. Do I think that have a winning record? Possible. I mean, do I think they're going to win the division? Highly doubt it. But once again, anything's possible. The one thing you can say, all right, with the Bengals, as shocking as it was with the Bengals, they got themselves a quarterback. There's you look at Joe Burrow. Yep, he's the Bengals quarterback for the next 10, 15 years. However long they want to pay him. As long as he stays healthy, as long as the Bengals want to pay him, he's the quarterback, right? Daniel Jones, you don't know, right? And we ride him out all season if he stays healthy, right? We don't know. We'll know. We'll know as we go along through the season if he's the quarterback of the future or not. But the thing is with the Bengals, they have their quarterback. You don't know that with the New York Giants. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!